Soy muy a contra. No play with me. Soy muy a contra. No sé. I hear for no playing. Soy muy a contra. I know baby. Soy muy a contra. I will kill you. Soy muy a contra. No play with me. Soy muy a contra. No sé. I hear for no playing. Soy muy a contra. I know baby. Soy muy a contra. I will kill you. Soy muy a contra. No play with me. Soy muy a contra. No sé.
So look, Shakur, people are back to. How do I even start? So look, bro, I've been busy handling things for my brand, and there's been a little bit of stuff here and there, but pretty much everybody's waiting for the Boots fight on the 12th, and then the Cinco de Mayo card. That's pretty much what everybody's waiting for. I mean, you can try to fill in things here and there, but I'm not a political guy. I don't cover the politics of the sport because a lot of that shit is rooted in nonsense. But Shakur is looking for his next fight, and I feel like it's important to see what he does next because in reality, he has options, right? Gary Antoine Russell said that he's down to fight him at 135. That's a great fight. And Teofimo is doing this weird shit that he does. The same thing he did with Devin, and the same thing that scary niggas do in the sport, right? Where they say, instead of fighting me, right? They say, why don't you go and fight that guy? You know what I mean? They're doing it with Keyshawn and Andy Cruz. Tank's team was doing that same thing with Keyshawn and Andy Cruz, and now we understand why after the performance that he put up. And in reality, all credit to Lamar Roach because I like that. I want more fighters to start doing what Lamar Roach did, which was going live, breaking their fights down, giving us the insight that they had, and some of the small things that we may not have seen in the ring that were going on. You know, give us that insight. MMA fighters do it all the time. Mighty Mouse does it. Stephen Thompson does it. And Lamar Roach did it for his fight. And it sucks that he only did it because of the controversy. But I think more fighters should do that. You know what I mean? I think that's the meta. But anyway, hope y'all are doing good. Let me get into this. So, yeah. You see Teofimo doing that scary shit, playing matchmaker, telling Shakur, go fight him. You know what I mean? Go fight him. Y'all never even heard of Jadier Herrera. First of all, Jadier, you know, however you want to say it. Cuban guy, dangerous fighter, fights kind of similar to Shakur. He has knockout power. Very dangerous fighter, right? And I want to say, I don't know if I think he's 16-0, 17-0, something like that. He's very, very good, though. I've seen some of his fights. And no, you know, Teofimo all of a sudden is trying to deflect against the fight with Shakur, or, you know, by saying, oh, go fight him, right? I think it's already nasty work that he's on the same card as a Devin when he years ago was saying, oh, you'll never get a chance to fight me for their belt, Devin, and this and that, just for him to lose to George Kambosos. But, you know, Tio's always been doing weird shit like this. He's always been doing scary buster shit like this. And this is nothing new. I think that if Devin or Shakur moves up to 140 to go fight Tio, he would beat the brakes off him because, again, Tio is not the special talent people try to say he is, right? He tries to do the same things that Canelo and Tank do, where they fight people that they know they're better than in order to get a victory. Because, like, okay, this fight with Arnold Barboza, right? I'll indulge in this. Arnold Barboza, I don't think that he's going to he's a really good fighter, but he robbed that Irish dude that was beating his ass in that fight, and he making him miss, making him pay. He showed he's limited already in talent. Okay, when that Irish dude that he fought cooked him and they robbed him, it was no different than when what's his name, Jermaine Ortiz cooked Tio and outboxed Tio and they robbed him because he's just not a main character. You know what I mean? These two guys are literally just benefiting from the fact that they are in a position where their networks are trying to make as much money from them by keeping them undefeated, or not just undefeated, but keeping them in the right position for as long as they can. Because in reality, it's like these guys have definitely already lost multiple fights. I mean, Teofimo lost to George Kambosos. That was undeniable because of the knockdown, because of the overhand. It was just so blatant that he lost that they couldn't even rob George Kambosos, because they would have robbed him if it didn't look like that, right? Sandor Martin arguably beat him. Jermaine Ortiz arguably beat him. And to me, Arnold Barboza reminds me of kind of like a Josh Taylor, where basic boxer, you know what I mean, hits kind of hard, His feet are not fast. I think Teofimo's way more athletic. I think he'll be able to do just fine. But because Arnold Barboza already showed that he can't compete at the high level, he's not explosive enough. He's not athletic enough. There's not enough upside for him, right? They're about to just basically cash him in to Teofimo Lopez's resume to buy him a little bit more time to keep avoiding some of these black fighters like Shakur Stevenson and them, because they turned Arnold Barboza into a name when in reality he was never really that good, right? So now you got Shakur on Tio's line, because now the Tank situation went the way it went. You got Shakur on Tio's line, and Tio is doing his best to deflect with some dude he never even really heard of, and Javier Herrera, and I don't think that is going to work. I hope that they end up fighting right after this fight. I don't know if they're trying to have I don't think Tio and Jerron are going to fight, but because that's the case, it seems as though no matter how you slice it, Tio's going to have to fight one of these. You're going to have to fight his demon sooner than later, right? And this Arnold Barboza victory is not going to buy him enough time for him to hide it from a Shakur before Shakur gets into his next fight. I hope that Shakur and Tio line it up towards the end of the year, because I mean, they're on the same network, or they know the same people, I should say. I don't know if Tio is still top ranked. Well, I know he is still top ranked, but he's just doing business with Turkey for this card or whatever. But the fact is, the fight is realistic, and Shakur beats the brakes off of Teofimo, and that's probably going to be the end of his run if they fight. And honestly, not probably, definitely, it's going to be the end of his run, because after that, I mean, all he can really do is try to gatekeep. He's going to be kind of like Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman's much better than Teofimo Lopez is. But I mean, he's going to kind of be like Keith Thurman, where they're going to match him against opposition that's up and coming, and he's still going to do well, but he's not going to perform well enough to earn another title shot. After this, he's not going to get any more gifts. Not to say that Keith Thurman got any gifts, but I'm just saying, as far as their positioning in the sport, it'll be similar, where there will be people who pay attention to him, but he's not going to be getting any gifts anymore. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman eventually had to fight his demons, and he lost to Manny Pacquiao, who lost to Jeff Horn, who lost to Terrence Crawford. At least I think that's how it went. And I'm losing train of thought. But anyways, all roads lead to he's gonna have to fight one of these slick black fighters that are much better than him, that he's been hiding from amidst the racist antics, amidst the politics, him saying, Devin, you'll never get a chance, all this type of stuff. He's been trying to say for years, look, if y'all love the black fighters, keep them. I don't want nothing to do with them. Basically, him saying all of these things over and over and over and over again to try to make it seem like he doesn't want to do any business with black fighters, right? That's his excuse. But bro, they're finna beat your ass, man. If you keep playing these games, it's gonna be worse for you, because then you're building your name so much off of these fraudulent victories. They finna have you fighting a Jerron, and you're gonna be in there out of your element. He tried that shit with Bud marked him out. He tried that shit with Keyshawn knocked his dad out in front of him. He didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Now he's trying Shakur. Bro, Shakur and all these guys will beat the brakes off you. You know what I mean? And it seems as though they're almost trying to settle Shakur into a role of like being a bit of a gatekeeper in the sport, because they're not trying to give him these unification fights. They're not trying to give him these opportunities and to fight, these big fighters in the sport. He's at 135. His boy is the champ at 135. He might move up to 140 because Dev's at 147. And really, it's wide open at 140. You know what I mean? You don't really have anybody to worry about. If you pull up to 140, you could take over. You got Gary Anton Russell, and you got Teofimo Lopez. Those are two good fights that'll make you good money. Gary Anton Russell's last performance was excellent. You got Ryo, you got Pitbull. Hopefully they don't all duck him, but you got Arnold Barboza still there. That'll be a good showcase at 140. You know, you got Williams Zepeda been ducking you. All these people been ducking Shakur. They don't want to fight him. I think that if he goes to 140 and makes his T.O. fight happen, he beats the brakes off T.O. T.O. settles down into whatever position that he's not going to be in a position to make much money unless he's willing to take a beating from somebody like a Duran, you know what I mean, or a Bud or something like that. If he's not willing to take a beating, they're not going to pay him to keep fighting Randy's. You know, Turkey's not going to pay him, and he's going to have nowhere to really fight. So I see the game plan. You know, I see the politics. I see the play going down. But in reality, you know, I think Shakur's next fight, it could be T.O., it could be Gary Anderson Russell. Right now, I think Lamont Roach and Tank are ironing out the details for a rematch. So he can't even fight Tank, and he can't fight Lamont Roach and give him his opportunity, even though in reality he earned that. So, you know, we'll see what Shakur does next. But this was more clown shit from Teofimo Lopez. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Catch you on the next video. I'm gone.